is one of the strongest teams to secure a spot in the playoffs. So I'm just curious to see what Vitality might change coming into this one.
Yeah, especially from what I've heard, right? KINGZERO, one of the best pipelines from amateur to pro. I mean, they've gotten every single player handpicked by the owner himself and saying, this is the team to win trophies. But Vitality, just as scary. 3 years together, that synergy cannot be beat.
Go back to week 2 in the Allianz Vault. It was Vitality lifting the trophy. Will they do it again? It's Vitality going against KINGZERO. Let's get the series started.
Thank you so much, guys. We are ready for a huge best of 3 as we are beginning between KINGZERO-eSports and Team Vitality. The hometown favorites here hoping for a big win up against KINGZERO, who is a powerhouse from the CFPL. And that is an understatement, probably. These guys are really good. They were able to take down Baisha, I believe it was, in the brackets already. Yeah, it was a 2-1 over them, so looking fantastic for their run so far. And we'll have to wait and see what happens here in this best of 3. Starting off on sub base, I'm joined by B-Dog. How are you doing today, B-Dog?
I'm good. I'm trying to get my thoughts across and hear them in my head because it is so loud behind me. The Vitality fans are shown out in full force, and well, Vitality are looking to show up here. It was the golden round on sub-base for them that actually put their spot here in playoffs, and now we find themselves against a KINGZERO that did it the easy way. And that means going up against Tong and YF, the dual-wielding snipers on the global risk side. And for Tong, he's been my favorite player to watch all event. I've been so impressed with what we're getting out of him here at EWC.
Yeah, just individually, these guys are incredible in terms of what they get going in their gunplay and their ability to clutch certain rounds. And it will be a big treat, especially here on Subbase. You mentioned, you know, they barely got across the line, Vitality. They barely got here through GK Esports, a strong team from Vietnam. This is definitely the next step up. There were tears as they were winning that golden round from Vitality. Going to start off with a nice shot here from YF. Through the double doors, and it is Vitality playing that patient style that we know and love.
Yeah, look at Slayer. Slayer's actually got like quite a good angle right now and progression over towards this B-bomb site. You don't know about him yet, but no, well, XN and YF do it immediately. I was concerned a little bit about the lack of utility for KINGZERO on the global risk side, but no, they're absolutely fine. This is now suddenly a 5-on-2. Vitality yet to get a kill in the round, and it just gets worse and worse. And that's where KINGZERO get loud, and Vitality, you've gone quiet.
Well, it is only the beginning, right? It is the first round, and KINGZERO, strong showing there. I think they get that first kill through the doors. YF doing some good work there, and then we saw that Vitality were trying to take a multi-pronged approach down a member, which can always lead to some risks. As once again, YF going to show up with a big shot through the double doors. We haven't seen Snare go for the challenge there yet, but I guarantee you eventually he will. He's that kind of player. Now he does try to challenge in lockers, gets taken out by Ice. And here comes Boris, maybe to look to go down the stairs. It is just 9U down here, not able to hit that shot. And then the flank is coming in here. XN gets behind them. And the bomb is also in a wonky spot here for Slayer.
Yeah, that's actually a really difficult round because you got Horus that almost gets pop flashed down the stairs, but it just doesn't work out. He turns a little bit too quickly and gets blinded by his teammate's flash. And the same breath of that, as that contact's being taken, XN is making inroads down in towards middle. So a really nice round out of KINGZERO. Put a lot of pressure on early to Vitality. And this is the best way to actually silence the crowd. And it's just getting rounds in a row very consistently and very convincingly as well. That's exactly what KINGZERO are up to here. The desk said 2-1 this, 2-1 that. I genuinely think this is 2-0 KINGZERO all the way.
Well, I mean, so far, it's just the one kill for the side of Snake and Vitality. But again, you know, you got to come here on a big stage in front of a loud crowd. It's going to affect both teams, and you just know that Vitality just got to get in the groove. I think they have some stuff to show, but we haven't seen it yet. They're trying to get in here and challenge YF. Not a bad idea, as they're able to get him off the point and actually move Snake up pretty close to him. Just seeing what he can see here as 9U is going to check the lineup, but he just gets 2 over 1. And now the push is coming in towards Lockers.
That's a crazy peak. Just to re-clear that, like I thought they weren't ready for how far Snake had gotten off to, but no. Immediate attention to detail by 9U. Really impressive. Just to keep KINGZERO in control. Now here for Vitality, they look to reset the situation. They're going to group up in towards Woods, maybe go towards the stairs over at A, and that's where Tong lies in wait. Hasn't got his sniper out right now, but gets it out just in time. Tong is putting on a highlight reel.
Stands up, points across, and he says, get out of here. Tong sits them down. That is 4 kills in a row. And, you know, that's what can happen if you charge down the A stairs with basically no utility, right? And he doesn't miss these shots. You can't just challenge this player like that. Doesn't matter the man advantage. You have to get some utility in his face. Snare goes for the challenge. This time it's Tong who does get that shot.
That third kill is just ridiculous. And the fact that he just keeps on going in the next round, that the double sniper setup, feeling really good for KINGZERO. And the lack of kills is now starting to become a very big problem for Vitality. Has Snare found one? I don't think so. I think it is still just Snake.
Yeah, I do believe so. And as you mentioned, that is a problem. You do need to get some kills in order to actually win some rounds. They are going to get in the woods.
It's the quarterfinal.
Yeah. It's an early start. Let's see what happens. YF. They're finally throwing some smokes in his face. They're forcing him off of that point because he just seems to be such a powerhouse on that angle. Now, again, if you're going to challenge this guy, get some flashes in his face.
There you
go. Hey, you did it. Oh, he's still doing it.
Oh,
no. What is this guy doing? What is he on right now?
Come on.
3 kills to Tong. And it's just not going to work down those stairs, I guess.
Well, I guess we can't go A if we're Vitality. Absurd. Another flawless round.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Coming into this one, as you were talking about, expecting the 2-0, right? For KINGZERO, I do think that they are the heavy favorites in this one. Now, I was expecting Vitality to come in here and show us a bit more right from the get-go, try to mix things up, but unfortunately they haven't been able to, so they are going to go into attack pause.
Look, you can hear them. And look, the thing is, Valis, I really want to bring up a point you said, because it does go both ways. Especially when, look, you can be disorientated by this if you're KINGZERO, or in the same breath as that, if you're Vitality and you're not used to this, on an international stage, and now you're getting all this support when it's been very hush-hush the last couple of days as well, that might throw you off as well, because suddenly you've got all these people to impress. It can really start to damage you, even if it feels like it might be helping you. It really is an interesting psychological moment here for Vitality. And it's nice that the crowd's getting behind them, but they need to shake this off immediately. Otherwise, this is going to get even more out of control.
Yeah, you can see Coach hyping him up there. He's got some words for the KINGZERO squad, as it has been pretty much flying colors from them. And that's what happens when you have these individuals who are just able to hit crazy shots and get big, 1v3s, 1v4s. Like, here, he's half flashed. He hits the shot anyway.
Is that jump in? That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's me. That's what I do.
Yeah, he didn't do the whole stand up and telling him to sit down, but he did kind of say, well, I'm not really impressed. And so far, neither are we. They need to show us more. Otherwise, this might be a quick one. And I am very worried for that. As you mentioned, it's a quarterfinal, right? This is supposed to be a close best of 3. We just had a crazy one between AG.AL and Baisha. Baisha running away with that one, 10-8 on the last map, barely. And so far, Vitality need to get one round to show us they're a contender.
Poor YF. I mean, he's the only one for KINGZERO that's died.
Yeah, I think he's okay with it, though, Just
It should be fine. Yeah.
I think that especially how he controlled the first couple of rounds as well, getting multiple pickoffs and just not really allowing Vitality to get anything going. means that even if he does take that death, he's
No.
feeling good.
No, this is a broken record now, Vitality. We know this. We know what the outcome is going to be. How many times are you going to test Tong? Because it's going to be so detrimental. Another one, not quite. Hell yeah, how about that one? Only a tag, but Tong wants more. Tong is bloodthirsty, and Vitality scamper away.
You could see that the mix-up here is we're going to have Snare challenge him, right? We're not going to flash. We're not going to try to, you know, overpower him. We're actually just going to challenge in the 1v1. Now, that doesn't work either. So Vitality are really trying to try everything possible to deal with Tong, and they're still not finding answers.
Just dodge him. Just avoid him completely. This is now 4 rounds out of 5 that he's been over towards the, say, bomb site. I'm pretty sure we can just leave him. I'm pretty sure we can just go over towards B instead.
Yeah, I mean, in sub-base, there are a lot of ways to attack the different sites, and you see that they're trying to challenge in here. That's a second kill, so they get that. That's a good start. They have doubled their kills so far in the contest, have Vitality. Unfortunately, though, KINGZERO in a very comfortable spot here. The bomb is down in the hallway, and you can see that Snake and Totson aren't even really making big moves toward it. I think that at this point, you know, they're going to try to drop out of the vent, I suppose, and challenge this. But YF's right here. That's another kill. Snake does get it. But again, there's just not enough time to get the bomb and plant it. It's 5-0 for KINGZERO. I don't know what else to say. This is a stomp so far.
Has he broke his headset? It looked like he, in celebration, smashed his headset on the floor. I don't know. No, it's okay. Oh, no, it's not.
Oh, no, yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, we're back in the game anyway.
No.
Never mind. No, we're not.
You ever celebrate too hard that you break your headset?
I don't even know how he managed to do that. Those things just
Fell apart.
He's very strong, I guess. I don't know.
POV, a headset's Vitality.
Yeah. And he gives the okay to the ref. It seems like whatever happened, it's solved. So looks like we should be back into this in just a moment. But yeah, 5-0 to KINGZERO. They have taken out some big names already. That being, of course, Baisha Gaming to qualify to this one. And now up against Vitality. Vitality have not been able to challenge them at all.
Here we go. The issue is that you're leaving Tong and you're going into Ice. So I don't know which one's worse. I guess we're going to find out in the next couple of seconds.
Well, they haven't really tested him yet.
Well, they have now.
Oh, no.
And now they're finding out the hard way. Ice has just found a triple. And no matter where you go, nowhere is safe for Vitality.
I mean, this has to be so frustrating for these guys. Ice is coming out here, and now he's just challenging them. It's going to take them down, and it's another flawless round. So far, we have 3 kills for Vitality in 6 rounds, and that is not enough. That is not enough. They have challenged Tong, they have challenged Ice, they have challenged YF. None of it has worked, and they're going to have to figure something out. They don't have any other tactical pauses, and apparently they don't have many other options. YF here gets challenged, and to be honest, I like this from Vitality. I think this has been where they found the most success. Unfortunately, you know, as we've really gone over, there hasn't been much success. So.
No, there hasn't.
But I do like trying to go for the one area where, you know, at least maybe you can challenge YF. Maybe you get something going there.
To be fair, like 9U hasn't really been here the whole time either. Like you have been able to sort of get this deep control in towards Woods sometimes. It's just, it's difficult when you're trying to look for positives right now. But they are spreading out. They are trying to take this space. This is nice utility to try and gather it back. You're also forcing utility out of KINGZERO too. And that has been a bright spark, I guess, for Vitality. Sure, the firepower's not been going your way, but you have been draining the pockets of utility for KINGZERO. So maybe if you can do that a little bit more, still with over 90 seconds on the clock, when you initially do execute, there won't be any resistance when it comes to flashes and smokes.
Yeah, definitely try to get KINGZERO moving around the map and try to just drag him out of position and not just run into one guy and kind of lose the plot from there. As Snare goes for another challenge here against Tong, but the rest of the team is not here at least, so you can see that KINGZERO, they're like, well, we don't need anyone else outside of Tong, so we can just stack the B site and be ready for this push anyway. As Ice is going to swing the corner, he picks up 2, just like that. And all of a sudden, a lot of pressure taken away from this push. At least Slayer is able to get one, but he is the only one left up, and they kill him through the big box. It is 7-0 on subbase.
Do you have a shotgun there? The Ice have a shotgun there? That's ridiculous. The fact that they are so confident we're in a quarterfinal, he's bringing out like a ridiculously close quarters weapon, and he's just ready just to take down Vitality. Just adding insult to injury right now. Biggest deficit here at EWC 2026 has been a 10-1. Wow. It could get worse, is all I'm saying.
That was a crazy shot by YF. I mean,
instantaneous. He's been doing that all map, though.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it from Horace's point of view, but I guarantee if we watched YF, like, that would have been insane. Just the reaction time was crazy. 9U gets into the action. He's like, guys,
my turn.
Leave some kills for me. Like, I want a little bit. XN's like, please notice me as well. Like, I only have 3. Okay, Snare's going to try to challenge Tong again. It's not going to work.
When will we learn, Vitality? When will we learn?
Well, at least he wasn't on the same box, so maybe a different vibe, perhaps. I don't know. I'm reaching. Ice here. Up against Totson and Snake. He is going to be pushed out. So, okay, there you go. All right. You can see the fans are not happy with the performance so far, and I don't blame them. This has not been a very close bout so far. And we do have a nade into Totson, but he moves ahead of it. YF here on the corner. We saw him hit one of these earlier of this round. He's not going to hit it this time, and he has to back off of it. Snake gets one. All right. A little bit of momentum, potentially. There's still a 2v3 and make that a 1v3, but, you know, a closer round so far. And Snake with 4 kills, definitely the most on his team. And it looks like maybe he's going to rotate over towards A.
Everyone's playing Ring Around the Rosie over towards Machine Room. Like there was so many like overlapping circles there, and yet the timing just works out. The KINGZERO and an easy kill for Tong. I think Snake fired off his gun, so just gave all the info over. That's free and easy. That's 8-0. Not a single round here on Blacklist so far for Vitality on subbase.
Yeah, and Tong says, I don't have to destroy my headset this time. I think, you know, I've made the point clear enough. Although he still had some words, as you can see at the very end of that replay.
He's really giving it to him, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's 8-0, man. You might as well. Like, this is...
He's got 14-0. He's not died.
If you're going to give it to him at any point, I think this is a pretty good start. Yeah, 14-0. And, you know, Snare is that player where he will say, okay, no, let me challenge him. I will deal with it. And generally he does in his region and even at bigger internationals. But so far, he has not found the answer into Tong.
I feel like they need to set him up to do that, though. Like, it feels like we've seen a flashbang play towards Tong, sure, but that's been the rifler's lead in. Like, if you want to get your sniper on the line, like, maybe pop him in. Like, give him a chance, because it just feels like these dry contact plays, like, Tong will eat them up for breakfast all day long.
Yeah, they really seem on their game today. I mean, we knew they were really good coming into this one.
Yes, I mean, that's another statement at this point.
Yeah, it's just the fact that they're really not missing. Like, there's not really a lot of mistakes being made.
Here we go.
I do like this. As they're making their way in, it is kind of red here as Ice is going to get the first one, make it 3. It's now YF. He's got buddies here in jail.
All right.
It's now Totson's on the side. He's going to pick up 1, but it's only the 1. And Tong doesn't die either, so keeping that pristine KD alive. And speaking of pristine, it is 9-0 for KINGZERO.
Could it happen?
10-0 on the way. I don't think I've ever commentated a 10-0 in CROSSFIRE. I think this might be my first one. If it happens, you can see that nobody on the side of Vitality's squad has much to say either. They're just going to have to probably think about map number 2 at this point.
Now I want to see it. Now I really want to see it. Let's get it. KINGZERO.
Just for the bit?
Yeah, just for the bit. But we know laughing matter for Vitality. YF thinking about pushing the issue towards this B bomb site. There are nades drawn as well for Vitality, but YF doesn't care. He's already round the corner, just in this smoke. It's a lovely angle, and the trade onto Totson is sublime. Can he find any more? Is he going to be ready for Snare? Not quite. This is better out of Vitality.
All right. They have more members than are alive on the side of KINGZERO. That's a good start. We do have now Pushing into A, though.
Strong angle.
They're going to drop 2 nades. Snake right here going to maybe challenge Tong. We know how that goes. And actually, he's going to hold up here in the corner. Feels the pressure. Does not get the kill on accent, but he's got backup. Has 2 guys up in the computer room. As Tong is looking, he wants to hold on to that pristine KD. I don't know if he's going to do it this time.
All right, bomb committed by Tong. Ice hoping for an opportunity, just seen a tiptoe of a head. A little pixel. Tong now trying to close the gap, and he'll be removed. It's all up to Ice, and there you go. There you have it, Vitality. You've got your round on the stage. Can it be more?
They did it. They took down the round. They got Tong as well. They have defeated the raid boss. And hey, you got to start somewhere. Late is better than never as long as you can get something going.
Just feels patronizing at this point.
Yeah, I mean, nice round though, you know. Good defense. They were able to handle the pressure. I think Snake, even though he did die on the push, he immediately had backup. So that's good. You know, Vitality are playing well as a team. They're rotating quickly. And, you know, I'm not saying that they're going to win 8 rounds in a row, but at least it's signs of life, right? So maybe you can hope for something in map number 2.
Well, let's let it breathe a little bit. If it gets to like 9-4, 10-4, 10-5, and I think we have that conversation, they're still sort of on their last legs, but this is back-to-back opening kills now for Totsin, and Totsin was really struggling. So this is much better now. Out of Vitality, trade out of YF is in though, 4 versus 4. And you got to think about it like this, KINGZERO are 4 kills away in this round from winning the first map.
Yeah, very close to closing it out here. I do like how YF's being kind of a nuisance by himself over in the locker room. It really makes you wonder, you know, does he have backup like we saw earlier on? Is he alone? And Snare is not over there this time. He's actually over by the double doors here. And it's actually Horus to hold down the A stairs this time around, and still no committal from the side of KINGZERO. Maybe looking for the follow-up into lockers, into B, as that's going to be a nice snipe from Snare. All of a sudden, you have a man advantage once again.
Surprised they want to keep committing into this. Oh, okay, but it does work. Low HP on Snake as well, something you have to consider, but he's all the way towards Wood. Tong holding the angle, getting the kill. That's immaculate from Tong. And now the player advantage swings the other way. It's KINGZERO with the better odds of it. Can plant this C4. Ice ready to deal with Horus. Now it's Snake on low HP to try and clutch, try and keep Vitality's hopes alive here in sub-base. But Tong, he's already ready for this. He can scope in on the angle and claim another kill. You feel there's no chance of Vitality on sub-base. It's 10-1 for KINGZERO.
10-1, an absolute masterclass individually and as a team. Didn't even really have to show anything. They just shot them down and made it easy. Not spending more time on stage than they really needed to. Almost got the 10-0, but at least Vitality put in the 1 round, I suppose. And we'll have to see much, much better from them in map number 2. And the crowd's still behind them, of course. You gotta hope that that is enough to get them across the line in the future. But guys, we're done for now. Let's go back to the desk in a moment.
Well, there's no doubt KINGZERO dominate map number 1 over Vitality, winning 10-1. It took 9 rounds before Vitality was able to win 1. But the fans celebrated nonetheless, and they continue to cheer them on even after walking away. Coming back to map 2, Vitality should come in with even better energy. But man, map 1 was definitely a rough one, for sure, for Vitality. I think at a certain point, they had 3 eliminations to the mini on KINGZERO. KINGZERO's a great roster, though. Coming from the best region, Kyle, it's always going to be a hard one. It was already going to be a hard one for Vitality as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, they learned quickly, do not challenge Tong on that A bottom pyramid stack. I mean, time and time again, they thought they could find a way to at least trade him out, but he started this one off 14-0 from the bottom of the A bomb site. Not only that, you had Ice playing very well, the whole team really not having any difficulties on this first map. But on the other side, you had 2 players, 0 kills on that first half from Vitality.
Yeah, I mean, that has to be heartbreaking for the side of Vitality, right? I mean, you're kind of expecting more of a fight going into sub-base, but I feel like, this is not going to be the full story of the series, of course. I feel like sub-base, of course, is a specialty map from the side of KZ, similar to STS, so maybe it is going to be slightly easier when it comes to New Compound, because it is more of a fundamental map, and KZ just kind of out-macroed them in that last one, but man, what can you do, bro? Tong was frying absolutely everybody, and at the same time, you also have Ice striking as well. And yeah, this is just a really good display of how good KZ is when it comes to the map of sub-base.
Well, you mentioned Tong. You're going to get some more of it. This is going to be our special Tong package. He's been sniping throughout the entirety of the 3 days of competition, and he is no different here, picking up 4 in just one round. This is when they're leading 3-0. You think Tong is done? Absolutely not. He hits 1. He comes in with the side piece and takes out yet another. Tong is a special player that just opens up opportunities for KINGZERO.
I mean, he really does. Just shutting down Snare alone, he kept him to 0 in 8. And this was the key player for Vitality in their series earlier, where they took down EP. Snare was the top of the leaderboards for Vitality every single map. But not only that, he's just such a mobile player as well. Even up close, he's just so deadly.
Yeah, and he's also incentivized to go for more of these aggressive peaks because, I mean, if Tong dies, there's also YF in the background, so the sniper presence never really goes away from the side of KZ. And yeah, they just can't seem to deal with the amount of pressure because, we kept talking about Ice, we kept talking about these rookies, man, but Tong is still doing it at the ripe old age of 30.
If you got a fire and you don't put it out, more fire just starts to come about. And when it comes to KINGZERO, it was nothing but firepower. They were pushing into Vitality. They were feeling strong. When they walked into the arena, the Vitality fans were loud. They were booing KINGZERO. KINGZERO, though, weren't phased at all. They said, hey, we've heard this before. No worries. We're going to sit you down. And that's what they did in game number 1. But Vitality fans are still ever relenting. They want them to obviously come back. But let's face it, that was a tough loss, Kyle, as they go back to their dugout. Vitality's got a lot to talk about. But more importantly, they're better than that. That 10-1, I know Vitality isn't a roster that drops a 10-1 map like that, at least normally. I think they need to get their feet underneath them, man, because the confidence is key, and they need confidence more than ever.
100%. I feel like a map like this, they just have to brush it off the shoulders, not think about it right now, and focus on the 2 maps ahead, because Compound is the next map in this series, and it was their best map against EP. They won it pretty handedly, looking very good on it, and historically, if they are going to pull off an upset, this is the map for them to do it.
It definitely is. It's a map that they picked after all, but will it be enough to flip the series around? Well, we're going to find out in just a bit. The players have left the dugouts. They're returning to the stage, and Vitality fans are once again erupting in the venue to support their team. They believe in the comeback, but does Vitality believe in the comeback themselves? That's the question they must answer. As we know, sub-base was always going to be a hard one. KINGZERO picked it, Sneaky. When we come to New Compound, Vitality said, this is our map. They believe in themselves. They're wanting to come back.
Oh, for sure. This is the map where Casey cannot play that exact same way. They can't be too aggressive or else get punished by the more passive way of Vitality. And especially this map is a lot more fundamental. I think this is a possibility of a comeback by them.
100%. This is the perfect map for them to show us what they can do. We saw them dismantle EP earlier on it, and now they have a chance to catch these guys off guard because KZ, they're going to go into this one very overconfident, thinking Vitality doesn't have that fight left. But I think fight is going to be what Vitality has in store for us.
Sneaky from Vitality, you got 5 talented members. Who's the one to pick everyone up on the team and says, we are good enough to take down KINGZERO?
It has to be Slayer, right? I mean, Slayer, obviously one of the harder fraggers on the side of Team Vitality, really has to lead the charge when it comes to the frags, but at the same time, we have to look at the sniper Snare. The confidence was still there, despite being 0-8. He was really trying to actively challenge Tong in this one, but we need him to hit.
Gotta hit, gotta take down Tong. We had a Tong highlight package. Vitality doesn't want that to happen again. They also need to shut down YF, who was running a dual sniper. But new compound is a fresh start, a fresh opportunity for Vitality to come back in the series. And if they can force a map number 3, the confidence is going to be at an all-time high, and Eagle Eye will be the decider map. But we're still far away from getting to that point. It's KINGZERO versus Vitality. Will they come back, or will KINGZERO crush Vitality's key? Let's find out as we head in to map number 2.
Thank you so much, guys. Let's see what we have in store for ourselves here on New Compound. KINGZERO-eSports up against Team Vitality. Fresh slate. It's 0-0 for now. And let's see if they've got anything more in store. I'm not so sure, B-Dog.
The only thing I'm concerned about the most is the fact that KINGZERO did a lot of their work over on GR. And now they're straight back on GR, and it's Vitality that have to really control the tempo. Vitality can't really react to what KINGZERO are going to do. That's what gets me concerned. And sure, you can have a look at this and say, like, okay, well, Blacklist, that feels good, right? You can take deep space in towards mid on new compound. You can then pivot back it into various strategies once you pull the rotations away. But I don't think there's going to be too much pushing and pulling when it comes to rotates fall in favor for KINGZERO. I think they're going to trust in themselves based on how good sub-base went. And YF as that secondary sniper was just tearing them apart. I know we speak a lot about Tong, but when it comes to YF and his openers, it just felt so consistent.
Yeah, he was kind of tasked with being the guy that, was going for the openers, whereas Tong was just the stairs A guy, and, he did a fantastic job at his job. But at the end of the day, as you mentioned, YF was the guy who had a lot more contact early on in these rounds. So Vitality going to take their time with this one. Looks like a flash in the face in the doorway of the A site. But as we can see, they are moving over towards B main at this moment. They're going to keep a couple of guys on the left side of this map. One in mid, one towards A. But with only 50 seconds left, will they commit to this B site? I do wonder. Now, we do have the bomb rotating out of there. So maybe looking to go A.
They have one smoke they've just dropped. So they're going to have no utility really coming into this site. This is going to be very tricky, I think. And well, Snare, he's going to find out the hard way. But Horus will find the opening kill. So in towards middle, Vitality finds success. But 25 seconds, they've got to make a move. That means getting by 9U.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should be able to. They're not going to get by Tong, that's for sure. 9U here on the A site, just trying to buy some time. Horus does get that kill. As they make their way in, they're going to have to get this plant. You see Tong wants to go in fast. He wants to go in furious. That shot is insane, but Todson does sit him down. That's another kill for Slayer. And all of a sudden, it is a 1v2. Now, Ice, we know what he can do. Snare, though, is going to hit the shot and get Vitality ahead.
Very scary round for Vitality, really, because they had such low HP coming into that. That's why the pistols go forward. They really want to try and disrupt and stop Vitality, get into a decent after plant, but it's the reaction shots that come through from Vitality. The fact that Snare goes to that peak on such low HP, that's impressive more than anything. And that shows confidence. Still running through the veins of Vitality. That is exactly what they needed. Maybe a remedy to their series here against KINGZERO. A confident start that needs to be consistent.
Well, you can see they were controlling the tempo, right? They were looking, they were waiting for KINGZERO to jump the gun first, and they absolutely did. It was XN that went into mid, trying to get information, which, I mean, is fair enough. I mean, there were like 30 seconds left, and he's like, where are they? He goes in a minute, he gets picked off, and that's when Vitality's round began, so nicely done from Vitality. They get that first pick off and make that move into A. Would not be surprised to see more of this kind of play. It doesn't have to be on to A, but, you know, slow and steady, wait and see if KINGZERO are going to make a move and really keep them on their hind legs so that they don't really get information, and that allows you to actually go for the eventual push. And it does look like B this time.
Good flash. Really good flash, but the kills are coming forward for KINGZERO this time. Vitality, I rated the idea. You want to try and spin it up a little bit faster, just in towards B through middle once you got all the space, but you just could not find any of the kills. And that was the biggest detrimental factor on sub base.
These guys are monsters. Like, these shots that they are hitting are just so incredible. They're so crisp with it. It's really difficult to challenge, and I think that Vitality will have to pull out all the stops and all the strats, all the brains, potentially, to try to pull apart KINGZERO, but they haven't been able to do that just yet. YF pushing forward into pillars, looking, just begging for a trade, begging for some kind of skirmish. But I would be surprised if Vitality make a faster move than what we saw in that last round.
I liked it, though. Like, they did actually gain a lot of space quite quickly. It's just a shame they sort of ran into a brick wall. But the idea is sound, and I suppose with the early time, you've noticed that you can get that much space. The issue is you're not going to be given that much space anymore. KINGZERO will adjust accordingly. They'll set up like deeper lines here on this global risk side. And actually, you've seen a little bit of pushing now coming in from ISA and YF. That secondary sniper's been left, and now the extra rifler starts to rotate over. They're going to be here in time.
Yeah, that they will. Nice support there for 9U, who is playing out. And Tong now, he might be the first contact, and we know how that goes. Let's see if they can deal with him. Nope, not going to happen. He gets the shot, but Snare does get the follow-up. That's going to be big for their chances on the A site. 9U in an awkward spot here. Doesn't get much support, but the lineup for Ice. He hits both of them in the head. As the flash is going to catch Snake, that's going to put him in a rough spot. As around the corner comes YF, and he will pick up that round.
I'll tell you what, I thought that was going to be a Vitality round for sure, because if you look at Snake's path in it as they come in, you've actually got a player peeking very deep. Tong's attention was completely diverted, and Snake and Snare, hit an amazing timing on him. They were already in the site. That's just unlucky. They lined up for Ice. That's the biggest downfall for Vitality. And it's these mistakes that are inadvertent, but they can't be making them. Otherwise, their time in the competition is going to run out.
Yeah, it is pretty brutal when you put it like that, but it's very true. And they got to win 2 maps in a row. They got to start off by clearing up some of those mistakes. Snare, he is that kind of player where it doesn't matter what happened in game 1. He's like, where's Tong? Let me try to go for a 1v1 on this guy. I don't care what he did in map 1. Let me at him, is essentially what he's saying. Although he does go for a couple of peeks, isn't going to follow up with another. He actually moves over towards pillars for now, and Vitality will slow it down from here.
They're doing a good job at least keeping the snipers busy and distracted. And that's why I'm liking these proactive plays that KINGZERO are making with their riflers. Like XN right now just on the corner, dodging the flashbang. Is there an opportunity for him? Yes, there is, but only the first. Now they're going to start scaling. Tong misses a crucial shot, and now Tong is completely on his own, has to just stand and fight and deliver. 9U now comes around the corner, but can't hold on, neither can Tong. And this feels a lot better for Vitality. YF is out of there, but they need to go and get the bomb.
Yeah, they got to deal with the bomb, and YF is right there. And YF and Ice have been so good in these clutch positions. YF gets the first one. He doesn't hit the second. He's going to drop that shot. Slayer not able to finish him off, though. So a 2-on-2, and they still got to get the bomb. They got to push into here, and that is not going to be a good spot. As Ice hits the headshot onto Slayer, and it's only Snare. I'm not really sure how you're going to find this angle. At least he does make his way out. So that's a start. Picks up the bomb.
Oh, going back.
And they know he's going back, and YF reads it perfectly. That will be a 3rd round in a row now to KINGZERO.
There's 2 things here. Number 1, let's praise KINGZERO because they group up when they're together. It's a really nice little bait and switch with the orb taking the contact out of YF. He backs out around the corner. Ice then steps in. You're never expecting the rifle to immediately be there. But if it's there, like, you've got the bomb. Like, you don't need to go back towards A. 30 seconds left. You know where both of them are. You could have won that foot race to B, in my opinion. But hey, he makes a decision. He tries to double back. He's hoping that KINGZERO second-guess themselves. They don't. They're grouped together. They've got no reason to move, but that's a great shot out of Snare. There we go, making amends.
Yeah, I think this is good from Snare because he really struggled at the beginning of sub base, which I think that's a map where he can generally find a lot of success, but he went like 0-8 to start. So I think getting his confidence back, allowing him to hit some of those first kills and get his team in a good position builds that trust and confidence within the roster. We do have KINGZERO really stacking over here outside of YF, who is dead, of course. We do have the two guys now that are going to back into the servers for now.
Oh, good smoke. Really good block smoke coming in from KINGZERO. They just cut them out of middle. And now you're just expecting Snare to be there. Did Snare spot Ice on the jump? That's now my next question. I don't think so, but you certainly know about Ice now, who's up close. Flashbang round the corner, and Vitality will outpour into middle. That's brilliantly done. XN can only find a single kill, and now it's up to Tong completely by himself and completely misdirected.
Well, Snare knows where he's going to be playing because he was at A. So you just look at that, and he's able to get the drop on a Tong. This is so much better than what we saw earlier on, and that alone should be applauded. Again, still a lot of work to do, but at least they get back on the scoreboard here after 3 losses. It's 2-3 now. Vitality have shown some signs of life in this match.
They've just got to keep it up. Like, these mid takes have been brilliant. Like, as soon as you spot the player, like, it's been really reactive out of Vitality. They're just trying to isolate players and find kills. Nice try out of Snare. Doesn't get punished either. YF needed to hopefully have Snare baited in that angle. It doesn't happen. And where Slayer's been holding the entire time down the A hallway, he's now going to call the rest of the squad over. And I love how dynamic Snare is being in this game. You're right, like, he's taken so much initiative. Like, he's not scared at all. And I love the fact he's gone from B, now he's in towards middle. He's the one that's actually taking the fights and leading with the scope. As Vitality set their sights on B, and it's another misdirection. And KINGZERO, they've read this one completely wrong.
Yeah, I mean, there's a guy in spawn already. I don't even think they know about him, but this push is going into A, as we can see. Now, there are 3 people over here. We'll see if they can handle this pressure as they make their way all into spawn, just kind of swarming there and trying to go B.
They do know about this now. They really know about it. YF, he'll hit the shot first and all. Nearly like shooting fish in a barrel. Instead, he's looking to not get stung by the Golden Hornet. Snake instead will remove his life. And that gives space for the bomb to be planted.
Yeah, nice little tricky play here from Vitality to gain access to the B site. Whatever works, I guess, is now Ice trying to swing in a 4. Didn't expect that many people there. As the double swing comes out, he still gets a kill. But at least they do root him out and gain control of B main. And you can see now that Tong is like, man, I got to rotate, but there's really not that much time. I mean, this bomb is planted already.
It's going to be really tricky. You're relying a lot on 9U to maybe get a shot back to at least divert attention. This double setup feels great, especially with Horus tucked in the corner. Tong trying to do his due diligence. Now she will snap back on Horus. That's where Totsin can step in and find every single frag. That's awesome out of Totsin. And Vitality are back in this quarterfinal.
Well, welcome back, Vitality. It's good to have you. I'm just glad they're making this a lot more interesting than what it could have been. 3-3, and all of a sudden we don't have as much shouting across the stage from KINGZERO. We do have a lot more drumming, though. I have noticed that. Big push out here from KINGZERO into pillars. They're going all the way around. This is actually a much quicker round from Vitality. They've already made their way into A.
And they're just going to go. Surely, yes, Snare, especially with that pick. Just going to head it in towards, say, bomb site. 9U feeling the pressure, feeling the burden, and he's just been blinded over and over again. And Vitality will swing and remove him. No stone unturned as they find their bomb site.
Oh, this is just an excellent idea from the side of Vitality. Ice is at least going to take down Snake, but you still have so much work to do. And once again, no time. XN makes his way in, though. Ice gets another, and all of a sudden, the site is being pulled apart. They're coming in through long. YF just right through the front door, just doesn't miss a headshot. And KINGZERO will not be denied.
Oh, it really just felt like Vitality were finding their rhythm there. As soon as the drums were beaten, they started up in the ante. They found really good space in towards that A-bomb site. But KINGZERO, it starts with that first pick on towards Vitality, when Ice gets the kill rotating in and suddenly they just keep going, they get all of that determination and they don't give up. YF right through the gullet. And now for KINGZERO, they take the lead back yet again. No, doesn't matter how quick you scale on towards the bomb site. It's the individuals that always seem to bail out KINGZERO, and they've done it again here in round 7.
Yeah, absolutely. Nicely done from them. I thought that was kind of a done deal once Vitality made their way on to A. They read the pressure very well. They changed up the tempo. They got onto the site. They double swing the individual members, the initial first pick off from Snare. Like, everything was going perfectly, but unfortunately just not able to hold the 5v3. And that's got to feel pretty rough, but still got a couple of rounds left in this half. And then you move over to GR. I mean, there's certainly an angle here for Vitality once they make the swap over to the other side to get some rounds under their belts where they should be a bit more comfortable. And now it does look like more action towards mid. This is definitely, you know, the main playbook, I'd say, for this map from the Blacklist side. So not too surprising. Trying to flash into A main, actually, and fake a lot of pressure over here. Most of the people are still in mid.
Yeah, that was a nice flash being thrown over the top of middle. That gives Slayer a little bit more room. It also pushes the sniper back. And for XN, he's a little bit paranoid about middle. Another smoke goes in towards that A bomb site. And that leaves Ice with a lot of responsibility. You're also looking towards YF, thinking he can't really move off that angle. And XN, that's brave. And yet somehow between him and 9U, they get a kill and an awful lot of damage. Vitality now scared off of A, and they've got to go back to B.
Yeah, I mean, that's just great teamwork once again. It's something you were talking about before. It's like XN went out there, he gets the vision essentially. He's like, okay, I see them right in mid, and 9U's right behind him just spraying into the smoke.
The health as well. Like,
yeah.
they are lucky. And now look at this crossfire as well. This is brilliant. YF's holding the spawn, Ice down low. It only gets scary if Ice gets removed first, and then YF can't find a kill, but that doesn't happen. Instead, he gets a collat.
Oh, no. Yeah, that was quick. And here comes Snare now. He's going to peek it, and YF says, nope, not this time. KINGZERO now left to be the only ones laughing and shouting at the end of the round. 5-3, as they have maintained control here from the GR side, which is definitely to be expected, but, you know, it does feel like a lot of momentum going their way, especially after a round like that. You can see it's not just their ability to shoot insane shots. It's like the setups they have, the ideas they have, playing as a team. A well-oiled machine is KINGZERO.
Yeah, fundamentals feel on point here. Like the way that they're rotating, you're right. The fact that they got the crossfire so established, deeply nestled into those sites as well, given the time pressure, given how much Vitality is straining middle and really trying to deviate away from it. Like that's really awesome to see out of KINGZERO, especially when 9U and XN are really low, but all that damage unconfirmed by Vitality. It was just a random spray through the smoke. They knew nothing about it until their player fell. And now it's 9U getting aggro over towards A main instead. Slayer has been here the entire half, and he's not really had a gunfight.
Yeah, 9U once again to be first contact. Feels like it's always him or XN that have to deal with this. And it is Snake and Horus that pair up for a kill there on long. They're not going to commit to it, though. They just get that kill back away, and it's definitely the right call. Do see that XN's trying to get in there and get a trade back, but not quite able to do so. Does a lot of damage to Snake, at least.
That's fine, putting the smoke up as well, because you're just denying access. You got to be careful of Snare in the window, but I feel like you're always going to be mindful of that. If you're XN, just playing so ahead of the smoke, and actually the spray goes back the other way. That wasn't Snake, that was Slayer. So XN not only gets out, basically scot-free, but he's done a lot of damage, and he's found a confirmed kill. And puts it back into the player advantage now. Actually, it's even.
Just a really cute play from XN. Getting in there, you know, delaying the push. Even picks up the free kill through the smoke, seeing the gunfire. Just really good stuff as now the push comes in, but Ice is ready with open arms. He says, come to Ice, I will get you down. And now Tong able to push forward, YF to finish off the kill. And that ends the half at 6-3 with some big rounds in a row here for KINGZERO. It was 3-3 at one point. We thought it was anybody's map, but once again, maybe hit with reality.
However, as you said, this is a global risk favored map of new compound. The fact that Vitality got 3, like, is that the bare minimum we're looking for here, or do they desperately need that 4th, especially against a team like KINGZERO?
I'd say they probably needed the 4th, realistically, up against this team. In general, 3 is, as you said, the bare minimum. So at least they got that.
Okay.
And it's, you know, it's enough to get it started. And I think this team definitely has a lot more luck from this side. So let's see it. As that's a nice little leg into Snare. As Tong says, you know, I'm not scared of the challenge either. That's definitely the spot where the snipers love to meet up and throw down.
Okay, so 3 rounds, serviceable. The wheels haven't fallen off the bus yet for Vitality. We just need to make sure that the MOT is a lot more effective. And now for KINGZERO, they're going to group, they're going to go B, they're going to keep things very direct, very simple. Enjoying the lurk we're getting out of the... Oh, never mind, Tong will cancel with the sniper. Just has a little look forward. XN will come up and group with him, flash through the smoke, and yeah, that feels a little bit crazy. Tong with the trade, with the pistol, and now he's pushing even further forward. This B split, the contact works well, at least initially for KINGZERO, but look at Tong. He's all the way in spawn. Or he was.
He was. He is no longer there. As Snare is able to win that fight once again, and up the stairs goes Snake. As a big defensive round comes through, YF has been having obviously a huge map so far, but you can't expect him to do the 1v3 on the B site. Let's see if he's got it. There's the headshot.
He knows.
Into Snare. He knows Snake is there. He's looking for Horus. Tries to double swing. And Snake and Horus get it done together. Every single round that Vitality win is difficult. But they have 4 to 6 and they're on GR. I mean, this is not a bad spot as they do get that kill down. And Horus is trying to get the team pumped.
Scary. Very, very scary. Like the fact that that crossfire nearly breaks because you don't have a player swinging in. Like the fact that YF was just so ready for that tucked in player, I think is exceptional. They take space quickly down towards A-Halls here, maybe having a little peek in towards long. Horus is going to be under pressure potentially. Tong's just going for spam through the box. That is not going to work. No one is there, thankfully, for Vitality.
Yeah, very common spot we actually saw between Baish and AG.AL earlier. And Nine was like, yeah, I know he's going to be there. And Sway was quickly rooted out. Pretty common one. You can see guys tucked in with the shoddy and trying to make plays, but just spam the box. You don't have to deal with it. And now KINGZERO rather, moving in towards the pillars. And, I mean, just trying to check what they could see, really trying to check all the boxes and push Vitality back before they make any big committals here. Especially after a round like the last one, which was very fast and loose and, you know, crazy swings. Like, Tong was pushing by himself with just the sniper through the spawn.
I keep seeing that at this event. Like, loads of snipers just pushing and lurking by themselves, and it feels very counterintuitive, to me at least. But hey, if it works, Tong, it works. We've got a 1-for-1 rifle trade. Meanwhile, as KINGZERO look to push into B, and currently there's only one defender here. It is that secondary sniper, though, of Totsin.
Yeah, and Totsin's been good. I mean, Vitality, they are behind on rounds, but he still has a positive KD. It's not something you see all the time. Has been very clutch for the squad, as now he's got to pull up big once again. He is ready, shoots him out of the sky, nearly gets another one. He's still alive here in the servers. That's really what matters most. He picks up a second one. Just staying alive, picks up a third, and that's another round on the board for Vitality, just like that.
They just completely lost him. They completely lost all sight of him, or it was miscommunication, what have you, for KINGZERO, but they completely did not look at Totsin, who is plucking players out of the sky, as you said, and he's just being a nuisance in the server room. Overloaded were KINGZERO, and now suddenly it's a 1-round game.
Yeah, this is what I was saying. I really wanted to see what Vitality had in store for the global risk side, because essentially, we talked about it, the bare minimum, but you get a couple rounds going and you're feeling good. That's a nice start in mid. Slayer takes down Ice, aggressive peek from him. This is the kind of player he is. I'm sure you know if you're new to this squad, you didn't get to really see any of that on sub-base, but now he has been set free here on New Compound. So many more rounds to play with, a much closer map, and you get to see some of these players have their moments.
What's Snake up to? Looks like he's very close to the other smoke, and it's YF on the other side with a sniper. So this is going to be a very difficult clear for YF. And yeah, overlooked, and Snake should confirm that kill. Sounded like it took way too long, but he at least does lock it in. Now in towards middle, go KINGZERO. They're running out of options. All they've got is just this cluster of players, and it's just not working out. Slayer will find one more. And now the dominoes are falling here for KINGZERO. It's about to be a tied-up game.
Yeah, and they're going to go for a tack pause after all of this, after all the domination. Doesn't matter. 9U gets in. Still a chance here, I suppose. Tong going to get one onto Horus, but Snake going to shut that down, and it's only Tong. 55 seconds. He says, I don't need the bomb. It's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and... okay, he goes back and picks up the bomb. I do think that if anyone's going to do it,
there
it would be Tong, but he's certainly having a more measured map number 2 compared to his... oh, wow, okay. Snare not ready for that. He was just waiting up on the boxes, hoping for the push to come through, but Tong went back up into the tower, gets the angle.
Does he win these?
I don't think so. Honestly, I think Vitality have enough momentum, and there's really not that much time. And Tong's crazy. We know what he can do, but...
Come on, let's build it up. But 15 seconds. He's got to get in towards the bomb site. Snake jumping, and Tong knows. Maybe he can get the kill. Full blinded. 10 seconds. Rotates need to come in quite quickly, and they will. Nearly for Tong, but not quite. Can't even find a kill in that 1v3.
Yeah, not going to happen. Didn't leave himself a lot of time. Had the opportunity to get the quick 1v1. If he immediately hits the shot, then he can take the second follow-up 1v1. With the rotating player, but he doesn't hit the first shot, so it's essentially a wash from there. So, nicely done, and you can see the KINGZERO coach is furious.
Yeah, he's not happy, is he? And I don't blame him. That they were in control again of this game. Now it's completely fallen out of their favor. I'll be honest, I could be speaking out of turn here, but it feels like for this Blacklist side here at KINGZERO, it's felt pretty uninspiring. I feel like I'm watching the same thing over and over for the first 45 seconds. It doesn't feel like there's a real purpose to take a space of map control. Even got the Vitality fans doing the Macarena. That's how confident and comfortable this has been, especially on the global risk side for Vitality.
They're having a great time now. This is what they signed up for. And, you know, I think you might be onto something, because I said it in our, a couple series ago, actually, with the team up against Falcons that it was Baisha, okay? Baisha up against Falcons, where they're just doing the same thing over and over because they're hiding strats. And they're like, we are better than you. We can take you down. But finally, Vitality are showing signs of life. So I think KINGZERO now are going to have to really pull out some of the stops because, as you said, it's been uninspiring. It's been a lot of the same. It's been individual guys trying to make highlight reels, and that's not how you're going to win, especially against an awake Vitality. As we have seen, they have certainly come to play here 3 rounds in a row on the global risk side after the half.
Do you have to hide strats in the quarterfinal? I suppose if you beat the team 10-1 on sub-base, maybe. You're nodding your heads very emphatically, okay.
The next team is Baisha Gaming, so yes.
I suppose you want to hide strats against Baisha Gaming.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's if you get through Vitality.
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, the 10-1 certainly gave them a lot of confidence, perhaps overconfidence. And now the coach gives them a good yelling, and we'll see if KINGZERO change up their play. Smokes comes in, they're going to swing Slayer. Nice. That's a nice play. As they make their way in through mid. Horus comes out here.
Wow, okay.
Gets a lot of work done, but kind of a crazy swing. And also Snare is behind them. So, yeah, he's got the angles.
No
Actually
way.
Gets the drop shot out the window. But the bomb is on the site, and Snare did take a bunch of damage, so still advantage KINGZERO, I'd say.
True, but he does have the sniper, and he's already all the way around the world. And the best thing about this for KINGZERO is that they're contained, which is why you've seen YF now go on a little adventure on his own. He's already flanking. If he can get rid of Toxin, that's probably the remedy for KINGZERO and their success. Snare. Oh, not caught or clipped by 9U. Snare has now got more time in this site, and the timing actually feels really good. He can't be too far, guys. He can't be too close. But thankfully, it's okay. Whew. That gets way too close for comfort for 9U.
Yeah, they lost track of him, and Snare played it so well where he knew it. Like, he got past the first guy, knew he wasn't spotted, jumps in the window, and like, just like this, he gets in, he knows. And as long, like, he knows, like, he had it. It's so close. And just not able to pull off the 1v2. A lot to ask, though.
How did he get in the KINGZERO sandwich? How did he get in that position?
Yeah, that's the type of player Snare is.
That's cool. Look at this from Slayer. Slayer's now gone on a walk, and they've cleared all of B. So they've basically got full info. What, YF? Okay, never mind. You might know that it's clear now with a quick trade. That's going to accelerate this play from KINGZERO into A.
Yeah, this is what you got to do. If you are KINGZERO, you say, okay, there's 3 people in pillars. We got to go in. As first man on the top, it is Snare who picks up 2. And wow, he peeks again. I thought after the second time, you know, just let it go. But I guess he wanted to get information if they were actually pushing into A.
I'll do it.
Unfortunately, that does cost him his life.
Do it. Push it. Go through. Yes, Tong. This could be the round-winning play because now he can go all the way around the world, and it is being considered. Slayer. Oh. How much? They're now re-clearing mid. They're going to think that A is completely vacant, and it's fine. They're going to go B instead, and that's where Ice can just rendezvous over towards A. This timing is crazy because Tong's walked the smoking spawn with the sniper.
Yeah, this is just insane, and I guess that's the kind of player that Tong is. I wasn't too familiar with his game, but we're learning a lot about him in this series. So that's going to be bombed on an A, and they're like, wait.
What?
What direction did he even go in from? Yeah, just Tong pushing through the smoke. So now at least it's just going to be a straight up 2v2 on A. There's certainly a chance here for Vitality to go for the retake. But it is Tong and Ice. Zera going in through the window. Bit of damage in Ice already. As Tong is not going to hit the shot, but he does get the follow-up. And that's good enough. And so they move up to 8 and 6. KINGZERO can smell the victory already.
Because he pushed it in towards their spawn and then went all the way around the world. He then doesn't consider them going to B and being misdirected. That was nearly a disaster because Tong was out in the open there, but Ice takes the first contact. Ice does the due diligence. KINGZERO now start to pull ahead, now start to pull away. And I like this. They're now reinforcing pillars because this is what was pushed last round by Vitality.
Yeah, they say you want to push here, you want to try to get this much info. We're going to challenge you. We're going to secure it this time around. And that's why in the past we always used to see crazy pillar fights like that. That used to be a little bit more meta, not necessarily nowadays. And of course the map has changed since that era, I believe, but still same compound. And yeah, they're just going to play it a little bit slower here to start off, but still 4 members of KINGZERO over towards B.
The 3 defenders of Vitality, at least in close proximity. One of them is Totsin, who's been very good as a secondary sniper, especially on the GR side. It's interesting that KINGZERO drop a smoke here, just sort of in the doorway. You're hoping to try and isolate a fight or at least push players in, or to be honest, do this, get utility out of Vitality. And now they've got to reset. And I tell you what, the Vitality utility is dwindling right now with just over a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, not too much left in the tank, but potentially enough if we see a full-on push come through. Smoke in the A doorway, but this is going to be B pressure with all 4 members outside B. As they push their way, there's still a smoke in this doorway as well.
But this is fine, right? Because they want this space to line up the smoke on the box to drop deep.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if they've got it here. Totsin just waiting for another flying member of KINGZERO. Gonna peek it. Snake does win on that one, but they know where he is. They try to double jump him, but Snare is right there, just shoots them both down. As I think he lined that up for a Clad, not sure. And now Tong on servers, not gonna happen. Snare shuts them down this time.
He did hit the collateral. I'm pretty sure he hit the collateral as they're both jumping.
Yeah.
Snake also hits a crazy shot. He gives it a little jiggle, and as he strafes out to the right-hand side, he bangs them out. Well, that's fantastic from Vitality. Quick rotate, quick first responders as well. That's much better. And now you've got, again, another somewhat aggressive push out in towards pillars. That they are trying to take all this deep space, Vitality, and it has been working for them.
Yeah, it definitely has. And I feel like KINGZERO, what they got to do is they got to challenge mid. I think, you know, based on what we've seen a lot here from Vitality, it's been a lot of playing around the perimeter and essentially, you know, forcing them onto one site. But there's a lot of room in the middle of the map from the Blacklist side where you can just, you know, go for different pushes. You can get some utility into A, kind of trick them that you're going into A and just move full on into B and get the bomb down quick. There are a lot of ways to maneuver around the middle of the map, and I think they got to go there.
And they are. I wonder if they know about Snake, because they were spamming the box, but no damage was confirmed. There could just be a consideration later. That nade doesn't do as much damage as I feel like Vitality would have hoped for, and straight towards middle you go. And as you were saying, Banners, this is a lot more meta. This is a lot more by the book for KINGZERO. And looking to potentially overwhelm Vitality right in the thick of things, just on the edge of this smoke. YF, is he going for the fade? Just as it disappears, he starts to walk through, second guesses it, and now a wrap round in towards spawn. Horus holding, and you still got Totsin up close with the sniper. It is a firing line for Vitality as they try and mow them down.
What?
But what on earth is that from Ice? 17 and 8. Cool, that's a cucumber. And has now thrown this into a 1 versus 1. Has got time to plant. Slayer already on the move, and this would be such an awesome clutch for the young kid on the block to win on the quarterfinal stage, to put KZ one step further to closing this series, to progressing forward to the semi-final. It's all about timing. Ice clears all the angles. I think he jumped up and saw Slayer's head, and he certainly knows about him, but he can't deal with him. Vitality will even up the odds.
That was getting pretty scary, I'd say. Ice picks up 3, was it maybe 4 in the servers? You could see that they're getting stressed now on the side of Vitality, but still a lot of work done, and they've done so well here on New Compound. And they will take attack pause, and not a bad time to do so. Although obviously maybe wanted to play off of the big play from Slayer, but of course you don't know before that's called. So either way, gonna have some time to discuss the situation. It's all tied up at 8-8.
Either way, that's fine, right? Because you let the adrenaline just dump now out of Slayer, because you know how important that clutch was. You desperately needed that one. If Ice turns around, wins that 1v4, that's game over. That right there. Instead, Vitality, they keep themselves in the fight. The coach, again, for KINGZERO, not happy, not proud with what's going on. Barking instructions at them. They only need a couple more rounds to close. They were able to get them in consecutive manner, but here it feels a little bit more scrappy, more of a brawl. Look at him. Look at the body language. He is mad.
Yeah, I think I'd be mad. You know, not even just based on opponent, just based on the fact that they go 10-1 and absolutely roll them. And now it's an even set here on this map. All of a sudden, they're not playing as well as they did on the first one. And this is how Ice got everyone. He just 1, 2, 3, twirling around like a ballerina. And, I mean, he almost got the 1v4. Like you said, Slayer's still cool. He's almost like, guys, come on. Like, really? I got to do this all by myself?
Slayer, you didn't see what happened to your team. They got owned. Oh, hello. Look at that. Little boost up for Snare. Trying to get the opening fight. Doesn't happen this time. It's a cute little trick that KINGZERO, to be honest, I don't think I've seen.
Yeah, not from this team. Snare definitely pulling out all the stops here after the tack pause, saying they're not going to expect this. But, well, doesn't really get anything off of that. I suppose XN took a little bit of damage, but not from him. And so now KINGZERO, after getting an earful from the coach, a very angry coach. And again, understandable. We'll see if it changes up the way that this one plays out. But for me, I think Vitality's got a pretty nice chokehold here from their GR side. I expected it to be strong. They got the bare minimum of 3 from Blacklist. And it's been much more their map after the half, of course, all tied up.
You got to go A.
Yeah.
Like, if you're KINGZERO, you have to go A. Like, I feel like B, you're right, it's just in complete lockdown. Nice nade onto Slayer, does a little bit of damage, and I also like the decision here that Horus was holding deep over at long, and now he's backed out, dropped a smoke, and is wasting more time. But I feel like A has been your best source of success if you're KINGZERO.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind, mid to A. I do think that they really haven't... This has been underutilized. I feel like, they've done mid somewhat, but it's been a lot of B pressure, a lot of spawn pressure. But now with 2 guys over in A main, I think they're going to go for it this time straight through the smoke. YF lines it up, and they already got that kill on a long. Todson trying to challenge, but Tong very, very smart here. Does not go for the challenge, just backs off to his team, knows they have full control of A. And that's just a little bonus kill from YF. And now Tong can do that because he's alive. Doesn't have to go for the challenge. Snake by himself. They know where he is. And he's getting flashes to the face. Not very likely he pulls off this 1v5. And I don't think he's even going to go for it.
No, give yourself time to talk. Like that's the most important thing for Vitality. You're right, mid to A, the remedy. I can't believe he just walked through the smoke like that. It's a very risky play that just worked. You also had your players ready to go off of that contact around the corner, so I guess it's a little bit more lenient. And to be fair, Vitality give up mid very easily, as you've been saying all along. Like, that is the space that KINGZERO should occupy. Coach knows it, and Coach knows best. That's KINGZERO up to semi-final point.
It's so close for them. Vitality's made it very difficult here on New Compound. But very difficult is not a map win. And they need to force extra rounds now. One more round and could make it pretty interesting going to extra rounds. We've had a lot of crazy back and forth series, especially with Vitality in it. Multiple golden rounds that they have had to deal with already in this one tournament, which is just unheard of. So maybe they do it again. Would not be surprised based on the team. And now it looks like they want to go for a bit of a retake here into Pillars, but a big setup from the side of Vitality over here.
I like this. A little jump spot, and then what you're going to have is one player swinging. It feels like either Slayer or Snake is going to be detrimental. So they both got at the same time. No! You had the setup. You had it right there, Vitality. And instead, it is Tots in the bait that is the only one that gets the kill.
And he picks up 2. He's keeping it alive. Todson's always this guy. I don't know why at this tournament. He's unchallenged, and at least XN is going to push in and take him down. Doesn't take any further damage for his life. And now 3v2. Does look like KINGZERO want to reset, go mid, but Horus has a nice little spot here. And Snare's actually distracting. I don't know if they're going to expect him here, and they absolutely do not. He's right there, but Tong jumps out, gets the kill in the 2v1. Nearly enough to take out Snare. And Snare is going to follow very quickly. He's not going to see them drop down, but, smokes are already thrown in, and he knows that he's got to hit 2 big snipes in a row.
Can he do it? He's going to be very quick on this flank. This is a high-pressure moment for Snare. Everyone is watching. The crowd holds their breath in anticipation, but 9U's angle. Surely this is going to lock it in. Surely it's going to put KINGZERO in the semi-finals here at EWC. Vitality's hopes, dreams, and keys all crushed.
Wow. And Ice stands up. He says bye-bye. I think everybody could have heard that one. At least Vitality made it interesting.